Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Myst IV. Let's resume. It's much quieter than that main menu. That is too loud, a main menu sound. So, again, I have to point out that I am 10 feet away, so I can barely even see what's going on here in this puzzle. But, effectively, there are, I think, 5 monkeys in these little cocoons that are hiding away from this crocodile, and somewhere around here I think is a pit, and I think this is the plant that makes him sick. So you were supposed to have wandered around the game, and it really is just bad game design. It always has been in Myst. When you ran into a scenario where you may find the lock before you've seen the keys, or even had a hope of seeing the keys. Myst 4, I think, is particularly bad at this, where we have fairly linear paths, but we're walking past important things. I'm supposed to somehow. I'm supposed to have figured out 4 different names after the journal told us that they had made a name specifically for the sun. I'm supposed to have figured out the 4 names of these little monkeys, and I'm supposed to call their names, doing long and short calls. The names themselves seem to be long being a full circle of this, short being a quarter turn of each of these, middle, large, and small, or large, middle, small. And so the names are 2 syllables, as it were, long, whereas the throw command is 1 syllable long. And the game is just telling me to save the game and reload if there's a mistake. The first part of this would be to move the one that the walkthrough tells, the one they call rabbit ears. First step is to move it from nest 2, which would be this one, to nest 5. And that does seem like what we can do. So do a long right and a short middle. And see how they move along these lines. This is causing this predator to do this. Now it says, I don't know why you even bother naming them, other than the fact that the name then associates with the call, because the logical move here, as far as how you would do this puzzle in the modern time, or how this puzzle should have worked in the first place, is there should have been just a simulation / computer screen here where you could program all the calls at once to move peg to empty hole over and over again. So it wants me to move this one to this one, which would be a short left and a long right. So now he's falling in the pit, but escapes before the stun plant could knock him out. In his journal, Akinar is the son, that the Mangre's favorite game was throw foot. The nest on the left has a supply of fruit, so you can get the Mangre in nest 1 to throw some fruit at the plant to get it to release the spore before he gets out. It should be okay. See, this walkthrough is just written terribly. It also says You will soon discover, however, that the main grease are rubbish at throwing things, except for old Whitey, who can hit the plant every time. So now it's just telling me what we just did was just to learn that is the sequence. But now go back and load the game again and start over from scratch. Alright. Load game. Load this game file. And don't save, I guess. So instead, the solution is to move a little bit faster. And I don't have time to talk in that case. Let's see if you mess up. That could cause other problems. Should be a short left and a long right. I'm doing it backwards. Long left, long middle now. That didn't work. Why did that not work? Long left, long middle. So yeah, he was supposed to have thrown that. And that was supposed to be from 4 to 5. From 2 to 5. Long right, short middle. Okay. I guess maybe I'm still okay here. Now long left, long middle. This really is going to also highlight just how bad the system is as far as trying to solve a puzzle like this on even modern computers. You just can't really move that fast on an engine that's programmed this badly. Okay, now we need short middle, short left. Short middle, short left. It's not working. We're trying to get it to go from here to here. And maybe the walkthrough's wrong. Alright, well, let's go short and middle. Short and middle. Short right. We're supposed to be moving flathead. Flathead is short middle, short left, according to the walkthrough. And either because I haven't actually found that code, I can't use it, or I've run into, I'm just not doing it right. It's supposed to be quarter turns. Like a quarter turn would be about that much. Short middle, long left. I guess maybe. Long middle. Notice how it seems to constantly get off cycle. And yet, finally we get it to work. So, the walkthrough does mention that maybe it's not as much quarter. Sorry, I kicked the mouse there. It may not be as much quarter turns as 1/3 turns. So, it's very rough to say the least. Now, next would be a short left and a long right. And boy, would you just love this to be more of a locked in screen instead of the mouse just moving around. Long right, short middle. And honestly, I'm trying to do it more by the audio. And it really seems like it is more connected to the actual number of spins. And the two don't feel like they are really as good. So now we're trying to get Whitey from nest 5 to nest 1 because the fruit is here. So it says long left, long middle. And I wonder how much you can actually delay. Delay the two inputs. And at this point, it says save your game. Again, so clearly this is a pivotal point that it should not be in a Myst puzzle game where timing is important and it's fairly difficult. There are only 2 more moves. We need to move rabbit ears from nest 2 to 5. That is just to get this guy over this way. So that's a long right and a short middle. Honestly, I think it's probably closer to half a turn versus over 1 turn. And then 1 ear from Myst 3 to 2. That'll make them fall in the pit. Okay. So this is going to be short left, long right. And then as soon as that happens, we need a long right, a short left, and a short middle. Alright. Let's try this. Short left, long right. Try it again. A lot of this is not working, so. See. Short left, long right. I think the problem is it goes too far. I don't think I'm getting quite enough here. Alright. Quickly, long right, short left, short middle. Didn't get it fast enough. So it's not wrong by any means. You gotta get it to work, which it doesn't really want to work. And then you've got to move really fast. I guess you could make a mistake here too. Wait a minute, that's... Why did it want me to save at this point instead of saving after the point and save myself some time? Long right, short middle. I guess maybe there's something more I don't understand. Short left, long right, and then long right, short middle, that was wrong anyways. Long right, short left, short middle was what I was supposed to have done. And I did the wrong input. Not that it would have mattered because it didn't register the inputs anyways. Again, if this was a simulation, this would make so much more sense to just program all of this in early. Let's see. Long right. And then short middle. Short left, long right, then long right, short left, nope, long right, short left. He throws the fruit, and that knocks him out, makes him sick. And arguably, I've just taught the monkeys what to do. Alright, let's save first before anything else, because I definitely do not want to have to repeat that nonsense. And boy, does that not feel like Myst. Quite. Doesn't quite feel like Myst. Which, in fairness, half of Myst does not feel like Myst to me, and the part that doesn't feel like Myst to me, I think, is the part that potentially may feel like Myst to other people. And so there really may just not be much of a consistent world or feeling to it in the first place. I'm supposed to find a path to go down, and I think it's this way. Yeah, there's this high point, and then there's a low point. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to take a picture. But I didn't get the monkey, and I kind of wanted to get the monkey. And so you just had this animal blocking your path. And that was the thing that was stopping you from getting past here. I really like the audio in Myst games. This is decent song, certainly, but it perhaps should be played around more of a cutscene instead of just ambient music. Because at best, what you could take from the music playing like this is that that they have intentionally told you that any sound effects of animals and creatures at the moment don't matter. And so, man, I keep hitting the wrong button. I keep hitting the back third mouse button when I want to take a picture. And so Akinar pretty much has learned to live with the monkeys instead of hunting them for meat. Let's see if we can pet the guy and he doesn't even run away. In fact, they are all watching. And so I can't even tell what this is supposed to be. I see stones. 4 need to be moved to the left and then clicked on. But I mean, really can't make out what that is. And it's interesting that he's drawing on leaves here instead of books or paper, which, yeah, he definitely has gone native. Says, wear this with love, my son. And is this from Catherine or is this from Akinar? Or Atris? It's probably from Catherine. It says C.
It's a gift, Akinar. I made it for you. Don't you like it?
No. No. I mean, yes. 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 I like it. It's just... It's so soft. Almost forgot what soft feels like.
Yep. Clearly, he was crazy to start with, became a little bit saner and still is a little bit crazy. Like, this is not really how you deal with people, criminals. It would be interesting if it turned out that Catherine was the bad guy in this story and she freed her sons. It's also very interesting here you have perfectly round buttons, which is not something you would expect to see from something being made, handmade. Round buttons only really exist, or perfectly round buttons only exist until you have like plastic and molding. Anything else would be handmade from either bone or metals or rocks. And I thought this was a path. I think this is a path. Yep. It's a bridge made out of leaves. So you can kind of see how he went from living off the shipwreck to building a wooden beachfront building, and to giving up civilization completely and going native. And again, I'm still very much just having a photo vacation here, taking pictures, looking around. There's too much opportunity, unfortunately, to rush through all of this and not really see much. For the time this game was released, I'm sure these graphics look great by modern standards. They're fine, but not anything to write home about. We can thankfully now be very, very spoiled with graphics. And honestly, if you were just to remake this game with like ray tracing and higher textures, it would definitely be an improvement. Higher dynamic range probably would help quite a bit too, but that doesn't really change how the game would actually play. And those things are the things that I'd like to see be improved upon more, is to just have easier experiences. That puzzle that we just had, for instance, was too complicated, and I definitely did not have all the solutions that I should have. And so he's built this kind of like chair swing here as a fast track way to get back to where the prison gate is. And we'll take some more pictures. And there's like a snake like control thing wrapped around this control. And it looks wooden, not real. Otherwise, if it was real, then the only way anybody would have any hope of getting past this, which would be with the necklace. At this point, though, we've also totally missed Yisha. She definitely didn't make that far. And in this vision, you can see it is a real snake. And you actually see a hand in that way. I assume we're going to just see Yisha being chased through the other world. So theoretically, if you'd gone to the other world, you would have seen her being chased also. So narratively, I don't know which world she actually ends up at. Although I don't know how Yisha would have really gotten to the other world either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you tap. So it seems to really like to sleep there. And then we get another one of these pre-rendered transition scenes. This is where the music should be kicking in, because you get this little roller coaster ride, which echoes the piece of equipment that we started the game with, although much more natural. So we went full circle there. But I'm gonna have to kind of consult the walkthrough because we didn't get anything for that. Other than knowledge. They called it a dragon. See, weirdly, we probably, I think, should save here. And we're really gonna end up save scumming more than you really should in a Myst game. And then consider going back and looking for the one puzzle at least that we missed before. But you're very much in a weird position here where it does seem like you didn't get anything for doing any of this. You're just moving the story forward. You're just proving that Yisha is not here, Akinar is not here. You've been through most of this environment. I assume if I just continuously clicked forward, that would take me in the right direction, so we'll try and do that. But yeah, this whole maze area really should have been watered down. Forward, forward, and then probably not back. Forward, forward. Forward. It really may be as simple as just whatever path is forward is the right path, and it may just be a long line. Right. So I'm supposed to lift a cover here. Solve this puzzle. Here it is. And that explains why I didn't see it. So let's try this. Interesting. I'm grabbing it, but it's locked in place. Grabbing that, that's locked in place. Okay, I think I've got this. That's an idea. Nope, still seemingly locked in place. I can't go up or down or left or right. The color palette on this is just awful. It really is. Like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing. And the game should give me more of an indication. I should have more of an indication in general. Top hammer down, middle slider to the left. Okay, top hammer. Alright. So we gotta figure out how to do the sliders. It's not this. This obviously needs to go here, I think. Up, down, left, right. The slider doesn't seem like it wants to move at all. Maybe that's because this. Maybe it can't do both at the same time. It's not moving. Moving the mouse to the left, moving the mouse to the right, moving the mouse up, moving the mouse down. It's grabbable. This just goes up and down. I'm seeing that there does seem to be a like metal piece on the edges. But I have expect what's going on here is that the game so it has to have the thing locked into it to slide, which seems crazy. I don't even know what the code is, though. So, well, you can do this, or you could do this. If the solution was to just connect things, that would connect things. If the solution is to get the pieces in the right place, I would need to know the solution to it. Looking at the walkthrough, to get the little hammers onto the white squares but outside of the 3 sliders. Okay. So it is not just a matter of getting the squares on there. It's more a matter of doing something like that. And I guess if we get that far, you've potentially set yourself up. Why did it stop after 1? I don't know, but whatever. So that opens this gate which we should check out this area. Take some more pictures. It definitely seems like there may not be that much here otherwise. So maybe this was supposed to just be a swim.
Seriously, how hard's it gonna be? Worst part's gonna be the foundation. Once that's in, got to be better than sleeping in the wreck, right?
So you can see how there was just no bridge or anything there. And that's the entire scene for one little extra image. And it's probably not worth the effort to try to find the other totem poles. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. I feel like I would just never be like what I need to do is find the tent junction, is what it says, where that tent landed. And I desperately would need a mini map for that, because there's just some ferns somewhere. There really is just a whole section here that I missed. It's such a nightmare. And just getting out of the forest is going to prove to be a nightmare scenario. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's really no wonder that I haven't didn't find a place either. Yeah, I don't feel like I've been here before. Okay. So we found the tent junction. Let's see if I can see if we can actually find it. At the tent junction, take the path with the camodile footprints. Which one is that? So, yeah, the footprints, I guess, were supposed to be your way through this. So I'm hoping that's a camodile. Mangroves crosses your path. I don't think that's going to happen now. Calls it some warning. Path seems to be a dead end. Move the ferns out of the way. We're at the tent junction. I don't see any other footprints. This has to be the way. So you go this way. Turn about a bit and you'll see an observation tower. Do I see an observation tower? No, I think the walkthrough is kind of abridging how many times you have to click forward. See, if I had to go 4 steps forward before I even saw a monkey do the thing, I do see an observation tower, and I do see some ferns. Okay. And see, this would be a great point where if there were actual points of interest that you had to touch upon, you had to take pictures of, if the game told you there were 5 points of interest, and that you had to find them before you could do anything else, that would be great. Otherwise, you have a case where I've pretty much done all the puzzles in this world that I think I need to. Here you can see this is definitely more of a hunter's blind. Using pieces of the ship, hunting.
That's it. That's it. You know you want the fruit. Come on, little guy. That's it!
And it feels like it would be fairly unfair. It would be pretty unfair to have only a good ending happen if the player actually did every single puzzle when several of them obviously are somewhat skippable. Like, there's a whole system here, and this is probably where we were supposed to have learned their names. If you can replicate the warning signal, you'll be able to scare them away. The sequence is 1 turn on the right wheel, a quarter turn on the left wheel, and 1 turn on the right wheel. That didn't work. Obviously, I'm not doing this right. There we go. We got him scared. We got him scared away. And this would have been the totem that we would have needed to be the third totem to solve the puzzle. So they tried to gate you. Unfortunately, the problem with gating a player is with modern day walkthroughs, you can get around that. And this is the food chain. As far as the big monster was the apex predator, and then the footprints of the crocodiles were, I think, the second biggest. And then smaller and smaller. And see, at this point, I really am just trying to figure out if there is anything else in this age that I want to do. Or need to do. I'm just looking at the walkthrough, and I think that is pretty much it. It doesn't give you that Nintendo, here's a Mario jingle when you succeed. It doesn't tell you you're done with an area. You could incredibly screw over players by simply refusing to say you're done with an area. And that's what this game is doing. Too many games, even now, have stall tactics in them that make them feel longer than they really are. I don't feel like Myst is best delivered in that form factor. I could potentially see, if you wanted to do a reboot of Myst, just having the main character, Atreus, for instance, just having him wander around with you and walk you through the whole game. I've often said that there probably should be abridged versions of video games for people that don't have time to really play them. And I wonder if it wouldn't be better if you had kind of a mod that would take you to each location. Particularly in Myst games, this would be very easy to program, where it's just, you're going to step this way, you're going to step that way, you're going to click on this puzzle, you're going to click on this puzzle. what would take it to the next level and turn it from just being a mod would be to have some character following you and telling you this is the solution to this puzzle. This is why this solution to the puzzle exists. Like if you could be the Watson to a Sherlock Holmes character in Myst, that would be great. And most modern games effectively do that anyways because they have a hint system. So the game itself is your Sherlock Holmes character that knows all the answers and can tell you exactly what is going on and why. I don't know if that really benefits too many players that much. It certainly would be a way to flesh out a game as a service if you were to try and make this a game as a service that was just going to constantly get new ages and updates. When you're falling behind, if you could add the original Myst Islands and the original Myst puzzles, and just have somebody walk you through those sequences, those could be good tutorials and good like throwbacks. Although, if you were going to make a game as a service, it'd almost you'd get back to Uru and potentially making an online game, and if you were playing with somebody online, somebody would spoil it for you. It is strange you have this whole sky and kind of a whole region here that's just not doing anything. But yeah, you oddly do not have any reason to go back. The only motivating factor to go back is just to assume that you've already done it, or you've just gone full circle in the past, so that would be a reason to go back. Doesn't feel like anybody's used this linking book. Now, logically, this should have landed you, and I guess it's still nighttime, even though it was kind of daytime on the other age. Who knows how time works. This has landed you back, I'd imagine, at the beginning where you started the game, in the far entrance, not, I imagine, back in the trap area. Well, I guess it should really take you back to the isolation chamber. And there we can see someone very far away. Myst linked themselves somewhere. Let's go check that. What we didn't find was another linking book that would have potentially linked to you somewhere else, because you can have multiple linking books that to the same age that would have different entrance and exit points. We didn't find any evidence of Yisha, even though we know she was there. She was chased away. It seems kind of ridiculous that you would come back to this area and then teleport away, unless you are just jumping around all over the place willy-nilly. My only assumption is what happened here is that Yisha is running still, and she is being actively chased by one of her brothers. I think the book landed there. Which that would, like, storyline wise, obviously, you see somebody in this devoid world, you're going to want to chase after them. The real twist here would be that Yisha is the bad guy. Like, that would be, let's just do the exact same thing that happened in Myst 1, where it's the children. So is this place more tossed than what it was before? I feel like it was. Yeah, this place has been tossed because here's a new book. Interesting symbol.
Monday. I got this book. Dad gave it to me. I'm going to write in it every night. Tuesday. In the morning, we worked on long division. After dinner, I made a puzzle. Mom and me started the fun club and looked at stars. Thursday. I didn't do much. Sunday. We visited my brother today. He had a gift for me, but Dad...
Sorry, I gotta turn the page.
Monday. I got the... Made me go home before I could see it. I felt bad. Dad talked to me later and said it was just bones, so I shouldn't be scared. I wasn't, because I don't think Agnar meant it to be bad. He looked so sad when we left. Monday. It was hot. I spent the whole day by the water. Saturday. Dad took me to a really neat place today. It's called Serenia, and the people there are so nice. They never forget stuff, because if they do, their memory chamber remembers it for them. I went inside, and I saw all the memory globes hanging from the ceiling, just like Sarah said I would. Made me go home before I could... Monday. Mom said it's too soon to go back to Serenia. I've been thinking, though, and I don't know if I want my memories put inside a globe when I'm dead. What if I need them? Thursday. I told both Cirrus and Agnar about the fun club. They want to join. Wednesday. Dad finally said we could go see Anya tomorrow. She takes care of the memory chamber. She's one of its protectors. Only women can be protectors. Men stay in the village and do other hard stuff, like fixing roofs. Thursday. I saw the coolest creature on Serenia today. It was made of water, but when it saw me looking, it got shy and fell apart. Dad said it must have been a fish.
So we have a picture here.
Monday.
We should...
Mom
Can we
said
take the
it's too
picture
soon
now?
to go back to Serenia. I've been thinking, though. Jumping, because he didn't see it. Mom believed me, though. Friday. Anya told me her people put their memories in globes so their families can visit them in the dream world. She said I could visit the dream world too, but I'd have to learn how. Plus, I need a spirit guide. Maybe I can get one next time we visit. Sunday. I got the best gift of all time today, a spirit guide statue. Cirrus carved it for me himself. It looks kind of funny, but it's 'cause he never saw one. He just went with what I told him. He knows exactly what questions to ask, and he listens better than anyone. Friday. Before supper, Dan and me changed the lock on my bookshelf. I said since I'm learning Donnie, I could change the covers and use everyone's name instead. I won't forget.
I won't forget who's
Jumping,
older.
because he didn't. who's older than who either. He said it really had to be the really last time, but he was glad. Thursday. We didn't do much, but tomorrow I start learning how to dream on Serenia. I'll probably be too busy to write in this journal for months. Sunday. Anya gave me a special necklace today. It's really
It's interesting how the lines of dialogues don't line up with the pages.
And that only the most powerful memories get shown. I touched it as soon as I got home, and it worked. I can't wait to show all my friends.
It'd be fairly easy to have that line up. That's a pretty dumb mistake to make. Let me just get out of the reading part and then look at the book and see if we want to take any other pictures. There is this whole like Native American feel, certainly, around some of the cultures in Myst, but they don't quite go deep enough with it and make any actual culture feel more than surface level. So this kind of just comes off as a little bit odd that they're letting their daughter, or that they're even interested in having their daughter be groomed to be a guardian of the memory chamber in Serenia, which I don't think any of that has anything to do with Dunny or linking books or anything like that. This is, I suppose, the point. Here's the spirit statue, Akinar, I believe, carved. But yeah, seems oddly like they're just embracing a different culture for no reason, or allowing another culture for no reason to take place. And here we can see somebody straight up smashed their way in and stole some linking books.
I knew you'd have one.
And from that voice alone, I guess we probably already could figure out who the bad guy is. Oddly. We have here a picture. I am a child of water, head, heart, fate, health, offspring, life. So it seems like it's a palm reading, not a linking page. Although in Uru it kind of does very much look like a linking page. And I wouldn't be surprised one bit if we find a region that has entire platforms and areas like this, and each of these points to some kind of puzzle we have to solve. Now remember, we've solved this puzzle, but it doesn't remember that you've solved the puzzle, so I'm gonna have to put it in again. And I'm using the other walkthrough, which using that, the walkthrough wants me to do that later. So I'm playing this, I'm gonna play this out of order from what the way the walkthrough says, which will probably make the game take a little bit longer, but I think storyline wise that's what they want you to do. So instead of just showing a picture, what they've decided to do is say number each of these from the top left to the bottom right, from 1 to 16, let's double check. Are there 8 on both sides? Yes. So 9 to 16 here. And then it's telling me to click 12. So 9, 10, 11, 12. Then 6, which would be that one. Then 8. Then 3. And then 14. Which, while that solution does work using numbers, that is not as nice of a solution as just having a picture. Although, internally in the game, once you solve something, you should just get a key, or it should just be unlocked, or a skip button should appear when you've solved it once. Skip buttons probably should appear anyways if you're having frustration or struggle. And so the person teleported themselves away and left the linking book here. And they could have easily had it at least fall in the water instead. And so let's take this, and this should take us to Serenia. So there's not 100% certainty that the bad guy, we even saw the bad guy there. We may very well have seen somebody looking for Yisha. Also, Anya, for instance, she could be trying to help. And as such, we may have just seen Anya, who is trying to help you get to Serenia by leaving a linking book. Although you'd almost need an extra linking book. If somebody steals one and takes one with them, then you would have a problem. And inherently, the way the linking books being finite objects and very valuable, people would need to have some kind of magical way of copying books or making more of them very quickly. Which I'm not sure Myst ever really fully addressed that as an idea. So we start in a cave. So they're home now. Instead of Myst Island, there's Tomaha, and somebody dragged her away. Of course, it would be fairly hard. This is an actual bubble balancing thing you can do. It'd be fairly hard to meet, like, Yisha, find that she's trapped in some kind of dungeon or something, and not have her be able to tell you exactly who the bad guy is. So we may get a slight spoiler for who the bad guy is, although we assume it's the brother Atris. No, serious. It's the smooth talking, intelligent one, not the crazy one. Could be the crazy one, certainly, but you didn't see any real indication of that. This is not a prison planet, so we didn't have a chamber, prison chamber. And we should, I guess, chase after him. Yeah, and here you have these interesting looking rocks. Notice how the music just changed and then immediately changed back when it should have been more gradual. inherently, I don't feel like the people at Cyan have that much knowledge as far as like spiritual cultures, Native American cultures. So they try their best to tell their stories, but I think they are pretty much not completely adept at it. Like, and this is definitely feeling like a maze again. And it is potentially questionable as to how far you can get here. You see all these fires, and the fires are getting dripped on by these pitcher plants. So the pitcher plants maybe are causing the fires. And then you have these bubbles in air, which is only really at this point that different ending concept even starts to make any sense at all. But really it is a gimmick that is too unique for Myst, and it shouldn't have been something. You could have had one age that had like a giant meter in the sky that counted how many times fire, water, or earth has been touched, or fire, water, and air. Is this Anya?
I was starting to worry about you. In the dream, you always arrived before third bell had rung. Welcome to Serenia. I am Anya, one of 6 now serving as protector here. You may find this hard to believe, but my sisters and I dreamed you would be coming. You're searching for Yisha. I fear she may be in trouble, but we have not seen her since we gave her the necklace 2 weeks ago. I will gather my sisters to help find her. In the meantime, you should consult the memory chamber. She always knows more about what's going on in this land than we do. Follow the ceremonial alley to her doors and see what insight she has to provide.
It feels like you could dangerously end the game at this point. And see, she just is ringing the bell. Might be helpful to say, hey, is this Anya? Although getting a picture of her face would be more helpful. Because anybody could lie and claim they are Anya. The idea and the feeling that these worlds potentially are worlds created by descriptive books, and that they're inhabited by people who are not the original inhabitants, and generations potentially have come and gone. I think that concept probably should have been more focused on. That may not be the case here in Serenia at all. The protectors may very well be the original inhabitants or the only inhabitants of this age, and it may have been just written so. It seems to be about the only building in the whole facility, whole age. Supposed to be a bunch of orbs. I'm not seeing any of that. Also getting some herky-jerkiness with the mouse.
You have done well, Yisha. So now, in recognition of all that you have learned, and in accordance with the customs of my people, I present you this amulet of memories. May you always find wisdom in dream.
It would make more sense if the people of Serenia were Catherine's people or Atris's people, but I don't think that's the case. I think Atris's people are the Dunny, and he is just kind of the last of the Dunny, if I would suspect. And Catherine's people, I think, are the people of Riven. Yeah. Maybe Rhyme. There's nothing here. Maybe that's just because I'm premature to this area and should have come back later. Yeah, I swear I'm not this herky-jerky. The game is doing it. So I see a bunch of circles, and I take that to mean the moon. So perhaps it is just a case that we have to come back to this area later. Can't do anything at the moment. And I was expecting a more obvious puzzle, if such a thing exists. Yeah, part of the problem with Myst is it is really more of a tech demo, and when you're catching bubbles here, and this is a tech demo, this is not a it's not a actual gameplay mechanic. Let's go this way and see if we can figure something out. Okay. Water here. We need an upper area that we can check, because obviously we need to make these patterns match from above the hand symbol. And so we can go left and we can dry out. So it's either let the water flow or don't let the water flow. And you have to do an awkward spin one way or another. There's something we're getting a picture here. Interesting. There's the brother, first we've seen of him, and we see him doing something destructive. So, yeah, I don't really trust him. But I question whether there's a puzzle here or something. There we have a little wind dust devil that the game made darn sure we saw. I think we went that way before, so let's go back and just double check. Nope, this seems like new. Now we can see a fire spirit. It's all kinds of spirit guides and faces in them. And maybe I saw a fire spirit particularly because I have a fire spirit with me. Nope, there's a face in the wind spirits too. Let's go this way. Just picking random directions. Let's go over here. I guess I'm just gonna assume that that's the right move. Like, so much of this is gonna require, and this is where a mini map or something would really help. Like, we need to be able to look at Serenia from the top and see that each of the life lanes represents water that we want flowing up. So, and maybe even the phrase offsprings is a hint to that. Yeah, we need to figure out the angles on all of that first. I am a child of water, it specifically says. It's another hint. But I am definitely not going to blame anybody if they didn't see that and didn't figure that out. I'm not going to blame anybody if they effectively just decided to use a walkthrough. See, this is where we started. Okay. Part of the problem with this definitely is the general idea this seems to give that Yisha is just capable of jumping from world to world at any point while she's being chased. And that just doesn't feel in line with what we know about linking books. Particularly when we see her not even succeeding to jump back from a world she just jumped to. Alright. If the water wheel was connected, this would spin another wheel. And I believe that's probably all you can do here. Well, it does say I can walk forward. Boy, did that take forever to load. Sure does not seem like it's doing anything. Maybe this is more of a case you just have to stand out of the way after rotating the gear because it's just really heavy. Then you have to move it back. But then you probably couldn't get behind it because it's too close to the edge now. But at the moment, I don't think anything is going to happen. Let's see if we can perhaps manipulate the device from the next side. So water spirit. Yeah, we have gears. And that may be what's being moved. Is either gears or gear locks. Well, it lets you zoom in. You can't actually manipulate any of it from that angle. Okay. So that's another gate closed. When very possibly I'm supposed to be opening all the gates. Again, way too much of a tech demo there. We could go back this way, or we could go this way. Let's go this way. It's definitely too maze-like. They are definitely stalling for time. Half of these areas could just have been transition areas in the first place, as such that you just can only go forward or backwards in some of these areas. So even a simple mod to say when you're in this area, if you came from the left side, go forward, and if you came from the right side, go backward, and just automatically make it a transition. It's kind of ironic. You don't need to be locked into specific viewing angles for most Myst puzzles, and yet the way Myst games were made, because they were such a groundbreaking and old type of game, that's exactly how they are built. Whereas a hidden object game, you kind of do need to be locked into certain viewing angles. Even a point-and-click adventure game, I think, suffers fairly heavily unless you are locked into specific viewing angles.
You're searching for Yisha. I fear she may be in trouble.
It's the same cutscene just showing again.
The necklace 2 weeks ago. I will gather my sisters to help find her. In the meantime, you should consult the memory chamber. She always knows more about what's going on in this land than we do. Follow the ceremonial alley to her doors and see what insight she has to provide.
Yeah, it's not good that you can get locked into these cutscenes and end up viewing them again when you really don't want to. Have we gone? Did we go that way, or was that way blocked before? It definitely feels like there should be something in here. But if it's not gonna glow the new orb at me, then I'm just gonna have to assume that it doesn't have anything new to say. Here you have a statue that's crying. Here you have a statue that looks like it's doing nothing. And here you have a statue that looks like it's doing nothing. These just kind of look like benches more than anything. And these kind of look like tombstones more than anything. If there was something you could manipulate, or if you could jump out the window. Yeah, it does just seem like we are not ready to be here, and much like in the previous age, it feels like the game is more than happy to let you wander around and waste your time. When you have moving water, this looks really nice, but when it's static and still, a lot of it actually looks more just animated and less realistic. Here you can see clearly a handprint, and I guess we drained this area. Maybe we are killing a plant here because we drained an area. This feels like this would have been a statue where water would have come down. Interesting. Well, let's see where this goes.
You mean you have to signal somebody every time you want to go home? Why don't you just sleep here?
Because we have families too, you know. And the ones who are still alive sleep in the village.
Interesting. So there's a whole village in that direction, which is not too different from Myst III, where there was a whole society that was unseen and only mentioned. So perhaps the pitcher plants that cause fire lead to a fire signal. If not, I don't know how water sends a signal. And I would kind of hope I didn't kill this plant by turning off the water on accident or not knowing what it would do.
Wait, please. Listen to me. Okay. It doesn't look good. I admit it, but it's not what you think. I'm just taking it for a little while. Borrowing it, so to speak. It's the plan. Sirius's plan. He's got Yesha. I just want to stop him. He's a nutcase. He's here. And don't let Father come here, or you'll screw up everything. Find my journal. The one from 20 years ago. Cirrus doesn't even know that I kept one. I hid it in a stone pillar in the forest near where two rivers are crossing. It'll explain everything. Cirrus is mad. He's gonna kill Father. And I've got to stop him.
It's crazy that we're like 5-6 hours into this game, and nearly 6 hours into this game, and this would be the point where you're given more direct instruction.
Wait, please. Listen to me.
And now we have to watch the exact same cutscene.
It doesn't look good.
I wanted to see a different cutscene.
I'm just taking it for a little while. Borrowing it, so to speak. It's the plan. Cirrus's plan. He's got Isha.
I don't know what Sirius's plan really would be. If you kill Atris, fine, but then you're pretty much still gonna have to kill everybody else in your family, unless you're just fairly certain that you can kill Atris and then run away from the rest of the family. But Atris is just
Cirrus doesn't even know that I kept one. I hid it in a stone pillar in the forest near where two rivers are crossing. It'll explain everything.
there's just no way you would be able to find
Cirrus
that.
is mad. He's gonna kill Father. And I've got to stop him.
And so that was the object that we needed to have found on Haven, and you just couldn't possibly find it legitimately playing the game. They wanted you to get bored with Haven at some point and leave. And at that point, if you had left, what is that? What did that do, I wonder? At the point where you left, then you were supposed to come here, storyline wise, to hear the ramblings of the crazy brother. You're gonna have to keep a general idea around all of these statue faces if we now know that some of them can have a handle on them. And he took some kind of rock. No telling what the importance of that rock is at the moment. Okay. And there's no way to have been able to open this unless you knew about the dragon. So it was the knowledge previously. Although at a certain level, it's weird that the dragon would be in both ages, so you have to assume that the crazy brother brought it. And all it's going to do is just show you where you can find the solution here. So knowledge is power, certainly, but and I love the concept of knowledge being power, and leading towards solutions that you otherwise wouldn't be able to figure out. But it does not work in a modern video game at all. You need proof of earning that knowledge once the internet exists. You need the... You need to have some keys, some gated parts, some checkpoints. I have no idea, again, what that did. It seems to be triggering a gate somewhere. But I couldn't tell you where. And the audio is not circular enough for me to... It's not like surround sound enough that I could figure it out. Alright. We've got that. We've got the water flowing. But it really doesn't seem like it's doing anything more. It just seems like the water goes under there. Ah, here we go. There is a sewer entrance. And that was the tricky sewer entrance here. And you would probably have quite the question as far as why not just be able to jump into the water? Like, that whirlpool looks a little dangerous, but not that dangerous. And the existence of a second switch definitely implies that we might need to hide in there. Stealth mechanics in a Myst game? Not a terrible thought. You wouldn't want to get too crazy with it, but I could see a bad guy chasing after you and you needing to hide every now and then. I wouldn't want Myst games to turn into like horror games or anything like that, but I could see how stealth could be used, since you're already walking around in these unique environments, walking around and occasionally having to hide is not that big of a difference. Okay. I'm seeing a mechanism. Seems to be some form of light puzzle. It's odd that there's this different aspect ratio. Light comes in from here, bounces on this, gets amplified through holes, or gets filtered through holes. What is the goal, though? Goal is probably to send a signal upward. And I don't think this is going to actually lock into anything. Yep. It seems like either it's a case of you point it directly at the center hole, and then you assume that's right, or you're gonna have to play a game. We can see some bridges. We could exit via those bridges. Let's not do that quite yet. Okay. This seems like this might float. Okay. Okay, I get it now. The solution to this puzzle is to have the light filtered down to these circles to hit that key, and then the key would have held it down and then probably bounced and reflected the light into these different holes, all of these, to find a solution. And since he's taken the key, that means we can't go here. And I suspect Yisha may be there. Remember, in one of the previous Myst games, there was a platform like this that you were supposed to just run and kick. I think that was in Uru that you did that. And boy, did that come out of left field and feel very wrong to do. Let's go this way and see if there's a particularly logical reason to close the gate. Like actual physical violence to solve a puzzle. Definitely does not seem right. I don't know if I'm supposed to be trying to touch. I don't know if I'm supposed to be trying to touch things or not. You know what? I think I was right before. I think the idea is to get all the water to go through these circular things, and that way you get as much of the water spirits imbued as possible. As for like the wind spirits, I don't know what empowers the wind spirits, and some of the other spirits I'm not 100% sold certain on either. Let's see. We might as well change the state of things. That may let the water flow more. Could be that the bridge was blocking the water flow beneath it. climb back down and around. And then up we go. I think we have to probably go forward. And then go up. Then go up again. Was there a face up there? Is there a way to shut off the water in both directions? I definitely think that there are two different states here. There's one state where you get the water spirits happy, and then there's one state where you can actually walk around places. And yeah, I suspect each of these heads might be where the signal comes out, and it may bounce into the statue and to that. That would be a good guess. That does kind of feel like that is just the end of this area. Well, have we been down here? I don't think we have. And here you have a very nefarious sound effect, and you can see him gathering some kind of pearls and then blowing up this diving bell. I mean, he's not even trying to pretend like he can win you on your side, which is kind of not super surprising. They both brothers failed to trick you in the first Myst game, so why would they believe that they could trick you in the second Myst game?
Well, this is the most unique funeral I've ever attended.
This is important. I want to see if the ceremony is somehow influencing the transfer.
I think what is supposed to be happening here is we're supposed to be seeing that the crazy brother is working with the not so crazy looking brother, the smooth talking brother, as a way of gaining his trust and trying to figure out how to stop him. Like, of course, that is being very trusting. It may be that the crazy brother is just lying and is actually working with the other brother, just like the first game. Here we have a plant. Are these plants connected? Or are we supposed to be learning some pattern? I don't know. This plant may just not be getting enough water, and it may just grow, or it may only grow in the moonlight. It has a pretty large area of magnification hitbox. We can go to the left, We can go to the right. Even though I was pointing to the left and the right. Interesting. I just touched that and I saw her chained. Is this the memory chamber? Maybe this is. Okay, so we are getting a couple different visions. And seems like you have to be willing to potentially crush yourself, lie down on this bed. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to find a good place to end this recording. The story has definitely started to actually happen, but it will almost certainly kind of disappear and dry up as soon as we go to the spire. Some crystal. And her tied to a machine. I could even see there being a case here where the brothers are just jealous because she's been picked to be a protector in this kind of Serenia culture because she's a female, and then the two brothers are male. So it may just be somewhat sexist jealousy. Although I don't think they're going to play into that concept too much. Lying down. And we can certainly take a picture. I am a huge fan in photography of taking as many pictures as possible. Like, there really is no good reason not to take at least 3 photos of the exact same pose or scene or object of interest that you're taking a picture at, just in case. In professional photography, you usually have a speed shutter function that's taking 5 or 12 or a dozen photos all at once, all in a row. That way you can overlay the layers and do all kinds of Photoshop tricks to make even a better composite photo. I believe the iPhones even have a feature that basically does that automatically on some small level. But that's all pretty complicated stuff. The main thing to know, though, is to take more photos than you need so you can delete them later. Of course, in a game, taking photos isn't really going to accomplish anything unless there was a better gameplay mechanic around this. And there isn't, from what I can tell. Yeah, that seems weird. There's definitely a weight and a counterweight you can lay down in there, but I'd have to just assume that that's something that has to be activated later. That's something that very well may turn you into a protector. And again, I assume I'm playing as a male character. I think you're only referred to as Atris's friend. He goes, my friend. I mean, you kind of know that the smooth talking son was the one that blew up the doorways we've seen. And so, I mean, it's not 100% evidence that he's the ringleader or he's the bad guy, but it's pretty high evidence. And again, if you needed to take specific photos as far as evidence, that would be one to take a photo of. It's just black.
Use their harvester? Are you crazy? What if somebody notices?
You think you can hold your breath long enough? Go right ahead. But we can't begin the tests without at least a few empty memory globes, which only grow down there.
Fine. But you're stealing the filled ones if we need them.
So he stole a memory globe. Interesting.
What happened? This is terrible.
Can't be taking forever
How
to
are we
pan.
supposed to maintain contact with the ancestors if we can't harvest any globes?
How do you get highlights in your hair
Forgive
in
me.
this culture?
I've seen your face so often in dream, I forget you're still a stranger here.
You can see how much better she
Even
looks
inside
just because the
memory
camera
chamber, you've seen the colorful
is
lights
bigger.
crowning her walls. These are the memories of my people, taken from their bodies after their spirits moved on. In Serenia, the memory chamber
Her
stores
audio
our
doesn't
memories
sound great.
so that future generations can still visit us in dream. Empty globes for storing our memories are formed underwater, and we gather them using the harvester. So if I'm unable to fix it, I must see how bad the damage is. Oh, I was supposed to tell you, a few of my sisters have gathered in the Hall of Spirits to dream. If you go there after they've awakened, you might be able to learn more about what happened to Yisha. Good luck.
Notice how they always walk behind something at the end of the scene because they are being CGI'd into it. They were standing in front of a green screen originally. Yep. It's weird that Serenia and this whole group of protectors really don't play a role in the next game. It's a whole different story. Okay. So here we have fire, maybe wind, and water. And this is the endings, different endings to the game. Which, like I said at the very beginning, you're more than likely going to end up with the fire ending as the specific ending. So they sit there, they cross their arms over their chests, they wear these masks, and they dream. In that dreaming chamber, the bed I lied down, I guess, is what I would need to at some point actually dream to see somebody else's memories.
She will be all right, won't she? I mean, you won't stop looking until you find her. Yisha used to come here every morning when she stayed with us, and spend hours feeding
This is
these
far too many
butterflies.
cutscenes in a row. It's going to be
I
really
think she
disappointing
appreciated
once
them
we
more
get
than
back,
anyone else in
get
her
to the
family,
spire.
including Cirrus and Akanar.
Hmm.
I wasn't a protector when the brothers lived here, but I gather they were more interested in the memory chamber and our funeral rites. As if death were something to be feared.
No, she's not actually throwing
We must
anything
trust in the
out.
guidance of the ancestors. If they offer any new insight, I will pass it along.
Yeah, it would have been too much to actually animate birdseed flying around. Or green screen birdseed. So, really, they should have just rethought that and had her just standing there and not feeding these bird-like creatures. So Sirius and Akanar were here when they were kids, so it does seem like it's kind of a thing that they're trying to raise their kids around, Atreus and Catherine. In a lot of ways, Atreus and Catherine feel like they should be these kind of intrepid explorers that are going to many different cultures and documenting and learning as much from them as possible. And they just don't really ever come off as having that explorative nature. Maybe that's because when you first meet them, everything has already gone pretty wrong in Atreus's life and his family's life, so they're just, maybe they were explorers at one point and not so much anymore. I can't really believe, though, that there would be that many more cutscenes and that there's that much more we can do in this area. We need to go to Spire and see if there's maybe a secret journal he's written that would contradict what the crazy brother is claiming. Or that would confirm what the crazy brother is saying, that it is Akanar. I guess this is just a water bridge over another water bridge. And he said it was hidden, a journal hidden in the stone in the forest where two rivers intersect, which we are definitely where two rivers intersect, but I wouldn't really call this a forest. Plus, did he say a stone or did he say a tree? Stone column. Stone column. Or two. Yeah, I'm gonna have to just assume that it's not here. I don't think he said it was here. I think it's back in Haven. I think he directly said it was in Haven. And it is just going to be a bit of a hassle trying to figure out how to get back to Tamana. Which, in all fairness, I haven't ever really tried to use the fast travel locations. And I wouldn't be surprised if the fast travel locations always let you fast travel back to the entrance of an age. And that starts there. The only thing I really want to check is if I go straight here, which isn't the only option, and then I go straight here. It feels like the whole paths are changing, but it's just probably more of a case of there being too many different paths to start with. Let's go this way. I'm looking for the path that would lead to the bridge that I raised up. Which is, I think, also effectively saying I'm lost. This might be the way. You would think if you were going to see all these spirits, though, that there would be more to it. I raised this bridge. I swear I raised this bridge. So did somebody else lower this bridge? Or is it possible that this is timed in some way? You'd think there'd be a clicking sound effect or something, though, if it was timed. It almost feels like they've intentionally made it so you can't raise that bridge and then get trapped. I don't hear a bridge falling down when that happened. So going this way points me here. It is odd to hear these kind of boat sounds when there seems not to be any boats or anything that would make those sounds. We've got another statue, another thing. And yeah, unfortunately, we're just not going to have a good place to end this episode. So we'll just go ahead and make a save and call this the end. We'll spend a little bit more time in Serenia, but obviously we can't solve the final puzzles and save Isha, who I assume might be in the village in Serenia, and that they're trying to steal her memories or steal her powers. If they were able to steal her memories, I don't know what they'd really get from that, unless there was some kind of secret that only Isha knew, and I don't know what that would be. Stealing her powers would probably be fairly useful, particularly when you know what happens in the next game and you see that Isha becomes even more powerful, or if you'd played the Uru game and seen that Isha had become even more powerful. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and get me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.